Hello friends! Today I'm decluttering my fabric stash, preparing for a community fabric and yarn exchange, and I also have a little life update to share later in the video. A year ago, I received what felt like the dream donation for every sewist. A retired tailor was getting rid of his fabric collection, and I ended up bringing home around 130 kilos of fabric. At the time, saying no felt impossible. Free fabric is free fabric, right? So I spent an entire weekend trying to make it fit in our small apartment. I was convinced I would never have to shop for fabric again. And yet, almost a year later, every time I start a sewing project, I run into the same problem. I have mountains of fabric, but somehow never the fabric I actually need. Most of these materials were meant for tailoring and industrial projects. These are beautiful suit linings, structured fabrics, but not many cotton, linen, or natural fabrics. I don't know what uses these could have, but they are not fabrics I could reach for in everyday sewing. Instead of feeling inspired by my stash, I've started feeling a little overwhelmed by it. So today I'm finally doing something I've been avoiding for months, and trying to let go of at least a third of it to donate. I just don't need 20 meters of each fabric, I can donate some. So let's see what we're working with. One thing I've learned over the years is that free stuff isn't always free. Sometimes you end up paying with space, sometimes with time, and sometimes with the mental energy of constantly managing things you don't actually use. I think that's what happened here. When I accepted this donation, I was thinking about abundance. What I wasn't thinking about was whether these fabrics matched the kinds of things I enjoy making. So today I'm being a little more honest with myself. If I've ignored a fabric for a whole year, chances are I'm not suddenly going to become excited about it next week. This was very tiring. Having everything under the bed, it's not comfortable to manage. I'm going to show you some of the fabrics I'm donating and why. This one seems like leftovers from a costume, and I don't really do costumes or dark fabrics. This one is too see-through and synthetic to become a piece of clothing, yet not the ideal color to make curtains. This one seems like silky, yet very thick fabric for a wedding dress. I'm sure it will be very valuable for somebody else. This one is pretty, but again, poor polyester. This can be a nice practice fabric for my students. The problem with most of these fabrics is the material. When I was a beginner, I didn't see the difference, but now I know how much a difference it makes. I have to make space so I can see fabrics I genuinely want to use. Just by decluttering this, I found some good fabrics I completely forgot about. After going through everything, this is what I'm donating. It's a lot. I also prepared a bag with some yarn to donate or resell. And while I'm in a decluttering mode, I think it's time to tackle another area, my wardrobe. I usually pass clothes along to family members or donate them, but this time I'm going to try selling a few pieces on Vinted. Our car is over 20 years old, and every year it seems to discover a new expensive problem, so we are currently trying to save for a replacement, so every little bit helps. Let's see what I can find. I made a first selection of things that are still in great condition, but that I simply don't wear much. I'm going to try them on and make a final selection. And if someone else can enjoy them while helping me save a little money for our future car, that sounds like a good outcome. I'm curious though, for those of you who sell clothes online, do you find it actually makes a noticeable difference in your savings? Because sometimes I wonder if the time spent photographing and listing everything is worth it. This is my final donation pile. I will upload it and let a few days pass. I will update you on how the selling goes in this video. The fabric exchange takes place this weekend and I have some bags prepared to take to my friend's workshop. But today I have two very exciting missions. Let's tackle the first one. Okay, mission number 1 is complete. Now it's time for the most important one. I'm meeting up with my childhood friend Carol for something very special. Let's go! Everyone, please give a warm welcome to Luffy, Momo's new little brother. We've been thinking about adopting another cat for a while, and when Carol told me her aunt's cat had kittens, it felt like the perfect opportunity. Luffy is almost 3 months old and ready for his new home. Our cat Momo is only 2 years old, but he behaves like a retired gentleman, so we are hoping a little brother might encourage him to be a bit more active. As soon as we got home, we did a quick introduction through the carrier because Mama always comes to greet me at the door. Neither of them seem particularly impressed. For now, we are taking things slowly. Luffy will stay in a separate room while they get used to each other's scent and presence, and we'll gradually introduce them over the next few days. I will keep you updated on how it goes, but something tells me life is about to get a lot more chaotic. Morning! It's International Knitting Outside Day, and I'm heading out to the workshop for the free event we are hosting. If you are new to my videos, this is my friend's Noor workshop, and I teach crochet and sewing classes here. Today we bring in knitting, crochet, yarn and plenty of chairs to spend some time crafting together in good company, and you can join us virtually through this video. We spent a truly inspiring morning with this woman. Crafting often feels like a solitary hobby, but so many of our materials have surprisingly long lives and stories behind them. For example, this amazing group of women creates handmade letter banners for newborn babies who have to stay in the hospital. They often receive fabric donations, and today they are sharing part of that stash with us. It's a beautiful reminder that something sitting unused in your cupboard for years might be exactly what someone else has been hoping to find. And instead of constantly buying new supplies, we can keep materials moving through our community, giving them new purpose again and again. Not everything needs to be owned forever. Sometimes the most meaningful thing we can do is pass things along.
Adeu!
Now that I'm home again, let's do a haul of what I got at the fabric exchanging activity. I also published my clothing items on Vinted a week ago, and I had not made a single sale. I will wait a bit longer, but for now it doesn't seem worth it. The first fabric I chose was this cute light cotton. It's like patchwork material. I like to make baby quilts for family and friends, so this will be handy for sure. Then I grabbed this floral brown cotton that could also work for patchwork, and it looks very pretty next to the first one. I will probably use this for autumnal projects. Next I got this brown fabric. I'm not sure what material it is, definitely not something for clothing because it's kind of itchy, but it's really pretty to make some pillowcases or a purse. And finally, I chose this sturdy fabric that seems waterproof. I'm not sure it is, but I think it's a practical fabric for upholstering cushions or chairs. I also got a skein of neutral yarn and some vintage threads. I'm not sure if these are strong enough to use on the sewing machine, but I can also use them for my cross-stitch projects or for mending by hand. And that is all. I didn't want to overdo it and fill my stash of fabrics again. Anyway, thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos. See you next week. Adeu!